Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, March 27th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com. Got a lot to cover, nothing very significant, but a lot of things around COVID, so stay tuned. Right, so first up, there was a possible unconfirmed Google search algorithm update, probably around March 23rd, 24th, and 25th, and still some rumblings even today. You can definitely take a look at the chatter in the SEO industry. There's lots of discussions around that going forward. In addition, a lot of the tools have shown lots of discussions and lots of different fluctuations there too. So definitely take a look at that and look to see if you were impacted at all by those changes. Google said they do not go ahead and penalize for weird product names or weird brand names or anything like that. John Mueller said on Twitter, he doesn't think so. It would make sense. Companies and products use all kinds of weird brand names, so misspellings and all these other things. So don't worry about having a weird product name. It's totally normal, and Google will not penalize you for it. Martin Splitt said it's a myth that Google prioritizes AMP pages. Google does not prioritize AMP pages. I'll leave it like that. Again, it's all about how you define what prioritize means, I guess. Google Search Console is now sending out notifications around event markup issues. So last week we discussed how Google's doing supporting new schema for virtual, postponed, and canceled events. Google's now sending out notifications about issues around events so that it could actually trigger people to go ahead and update their events that may have been changed. Lizzie Harvey from Google has now created a new page that shows basically a change log of the changes that Google, or she and Google and her team have made, specifically the Google Search developer documents. The Google Search developer documents are constantly being updated, and she actually went ahead and made a page that says these are the major changes we made by date. This way you can actually see what has changed and what hasn't changed, what's new and what's not new. Microsoft has launched a new microsite to promote their URL submission API and as well as their content submission API. It's at bing.com/webmasters/URL-submission-API. And Bing is all in when it comes to submitting content to Bing. So make sure to check it out. I use the URL submission API because it's open for everybody, but I do not use the content submission API because it's currently, I think, a closed beta. A bunch of SEOs took a poll from Mary Haynes, basically talking about how they've seen organic search traffic decline. Of course, it depends on what industry you're in, but she did two polls. The latest poll showed about 60% saying they saw a decline in organic Google search traffic, and it seems to be getting worse week by week. But of course, if you're in certain areas like reporting on news, I'm sure the traffic has been up if you cover this topic. Google posted a document on the Google blog, Google Webmaster blog, as well as in this search developer docs, talking about how you could technically pause your online business during this time. So if you have a store that's been closed and you can't manufacture stuff or whatever it might be, you can't sell stuff, Google has given specific guidelines around how to pause your business. So Google says whatever you can, do not take down the website. Instead, limit the functionality of your website by either removing the cart functionality, displaying a pop-up or a banner saying we're kind of closed, updating your structured data, checking out your Google merchant feed and updating that, as well as updating Google about anything that's going on with your business. But if you need to go ahead and take the extreme measure of taking down your website, Google gave some advice around that, but if you do take down your website, even with that advice, it's going to probably do damage to your search rankings. So keep that in mind and definitely take a look at that information. Google Ads also gave advice around how to manage your ad campaigns with the COVID-19 outbreak going on. They said consider your context and tone. Make sure to use certain types of words in your ads because it's a very sensitive time. Consider your message as being helpful. Again, the tone of your message, and review assets thoroughly. Make sure to have all the images and stuff in your stuff to be, even removing human interactions and people gathering is something that people should think about. And proactively communicate business changes in your ads so people know how your business has changed. And there's a lot of other advice here. So if you are running lots of ads, definitely take a look at that, and hopefully your business is still doing well. Bing also now supports a new schema, special announcement schema, and special announcement schema is a way for you to communicate to the search engine so they can display rich markup about your business in the Bing search results. Google My Business has added a option in the Google My Business backend to mark your business as temporarily closed. So definitely take a look at that if you need it. Google My Business, lots of the functionality is not working or working weirdly. So you're not alone if you're having issues with reviews or anything in Google My Business. There are problems with it, and Google My Business is very, very busy these days, obviously, because of businesses are being impacted. Google My Business also released a lot of helpful tips for clinics and medical offices in the healthcare space, so definitely take a look at that. And Google is allowing restaurants to add delivery and takeout available options to their business name in these times, so that if you do search for a certain business and you want to know right away if they offer delivery or takeout options, it will show in their business name. Usually Google doesn't allow for that, but now Google is allowing that in Google My Business. Google also suspended the ability to leave local reviews as well as Q&A comments during this outbreak, because they don't want people to actually submit bad reviews to people when they really don't have a choice. Google's John Mueller said, "We do not go ahead and make sites that are penalized, have a manual action, sit in a waiting period just because they're penalized. Once you have fixed the manual action, fixed the issue, Google will reprocess immediately." They said there is an exemption that if you're constantly doing the same thing over and over again, like you're spamming certain things or doing cloaking, whatever it might be, and you do it over and over and over again, Google will say, you know what, stop playing games with us. We're going to wait till you fix it, and wait a while till you fix it, just to make sure you're not going back and forth and wasting our time. Google said there's no need to include every single link in your disavow file that you want to disavow. Just include whatever you think is relevant and move on. Focus your time on useful things instead, John Mueller said. There's absolutely no need to place every such link in your disavow file. Again, Google Search Console only gives you a sampling of your link, and that would be fine to include in that disavow file. Martin Split said something interesting. He said that basically there's no such thing as two waves of indexing or crawling. Previously he said there are two waves, but he said that communication has caused issues. It's an oversimplification of everything, and he should never have said it, or they should never have said it, and there's no such thing as that. It's just an oversimplification of what's going on. Google Search is testing out colorful more buttons. I'll include a screenshot of that, but whenever you see like kind of a knowledge answer or instant answer in Google Search, there used to be this more button. If you click on it, or if you look at it, now it actually has some colors depending on the type of query that you're looking for. Google's bringing back the magnifying glass to the searches related to section. Previously just had hyperlinks. Now Google's bringing back this magnifying glass look, which they actually had back in 2018. So I guess they're bringing it back to test it. I don't see it fully live yet, but it is something that they're testing. And Google Ads Report Editor has cross-account reporting. So if you want to report against, let's say you have 200 clients, you can report against all 200 clients in one report, which is pretty cool to see aggregate information. But Google has upped the number of accounts you could process in that cross-account reporting to up to 200. Previously it was much smaller, so now Google lets you do up to 200 accounts. And finally, we released two vlogs this week, one with Max Prin from Merkle, talking about his technicalseo.com website, lots of the cool free tools there, and how to do PWAs with SEO. And we also talked to Hamlet, Batista, on scaling SEO through technology and how to automate SEO. So definitely take a look at those videos. I'll include them later on in the thumbnail section after this. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. This is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SERoundtable.com over the past week. Again, today is Friday, March 27th. Hope everybody's doing well, feeling safe, and staying home. Everyone have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next. Goodbye.